Hello there, welcome to my channel, Maze's Life, where I'm terrible at managing money, but trying to get better. So with today's video, I wanted to go over my week 4 spending from my January 2026 paycheck. So if you're interested in this type of content, please stick around, please like, subscribe, but let's go ahead and get started. So, as you can see here at the top, I have my net income, kind of. That includes my work income where I get paid once a month, which is right here. And I do receive extra little stipends here and there. This month I only received a $15.64 stipend. And then I also add back in the money that I set aside to go towards my pension. I don't really set aside, I have no choice, but that's the money right there, $538.33 that goes towards my pension every single month. I believe that is 7% of my income. All right, so now for week 4, I'm sure some of these amounts here, if you've seen these other videos, they all look familiar, they have not changed. But for week 4, I spent $2.50 on taking public transportation. It's $250 each way, and there are security guards that come and scan your ticket, but they don't always scan everyone's ticket. So, and then also I had some times where I was given a ride home by a coworker. But yes, so I only ended up spending $2.50 when I had originally budgeted to spend $10. And again, that's what I budget to spend next week. Then, moving down to my apartment utilities and my security, which is my home security system, I spent $27.14. That's a reoccurring charge that comes out every single month. Then I have my fun category. So I originally budgeted $15, which was $15 for a work luncheon, because the next week I would spend $15 at a church luncheon as well. But I forgot that those things were both this week. The church luncheon I had today, which we went to Panera Bread, and I spent $9.78. And then the work luncheon, I spent $9.98. So I actually can go ahead and delete this $15 amount and this note, as I do not plan to spend any money on fun for week 5 of January. My week 5 of January will be rather short because my February paycheck should be coming on, I think it's deposited January 29th. Sometimes it's a little sooner than that though, but I believe it's January 29th. All right, so household, I was supposed to spend $25 on laundry, and as well as I got a new toothbrush and maybe toilet paper, and also I should add on there toothpaste and dishwasher tabs. But I actually did not spend anything this week. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this note, and I'm going to add it here. And we'll touch on this $140 now. So this $140 I had budgeted last minute just last week because I had so much extra money to go towards getting a house cleaner because I hadn't had one in several months, and I like to get a house cleaner just for all those little, just an extra bit of help around my house. My house does get very messy. I'm a messy person. Yeah, it is. I'm so sorry. But I do like a house cleaner. I do not regret paying for a house cleaner. This is how much she charges plus tip. But I may not be able to get a house cleaner, and I'll show you why in a second. So my next category was my gift category. I spent $13.46, and I had gotten a little art project to make for my mom to give her for Mother's Day or for her birthday. One's in May and one's in April. And I really like it. And now I have to remind myself to give it to my mom and not keep it for myself. So as of right now, it's $13.46 in the gift category. My mom sends me gifts every single month. So although I'm on a debt payoff journey, I am not going to stop giving gifts for birthday and for my parents for Christmas. If you watched a couple of videos ago, I said my biggest regret was getting gifts for my quote-unquote nieces and nephews. I will not be getting them gifts this year, but I still want to give my parents gifts for birthdays and Christmas, and may or may not be Mother's Day and Father's Day. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But that is where I am. So let's move down onto my food out. So my food out category, I had budgeted $15 and I only spent $11.18. And then for car maintenance. So I had budgeted $150, and that extra $50 was crucial to me being able to get a house cleaner this month. But as soon as I pulled into, I think it's called Valvoline, my headlight went out. And so that was $50, I believe, or it was, let me see, I have it right here. It says prices vary. I need to look at the invoice specifically, but that was, I think, $40 or $50. Plus, then I got my oil changed, and I get the premium full synthetic, which is $109. And that's just because I'm not on top with my oil. I only get my oil changed every 6 months. A lot of times I go much longer than that. So I just tried to get the best oil. And then they did some other inspections as well on my car. So they said that I needed my tires rotated, that Hyundai recommends me rotating my cars every 7,500 miles. And according to my Carfax report, the last time I had my tires rotated was 20,000 miles ago, and that sounds about right. And that's $50. Then they told me that I also needed my radiators cleaned, I think is what they said, or my radiators serviced, and that should be done every 30,000 miles. And I have 72,000 miles, and I've never once had it done. Then they also showed me my cabin air filter, and it was completely gray. And the last time that I had that replaced was at 38,000 miles, according to my Carfax report. And I know that I did not get it replaced at all last year. So, considering that I'm now at 72,000 miles, that's about 35,000 miles since I gotten my cabin air filter replaced, I went ahead and replaced that. Because it was completely gray. And that was $60. So that is what constituted $205, but then I had a coupon. And then they also told me that I needed to replace my engine air filter. And they pulled out my engine air filter, and it was gray in the center, but it was white around the sides. So I said I'll do that next time. And then they also recommended me to get a 12-month fuel treatment. And I declined that. And they said the last time I had that done was at 52,000 miles. And that they recommended every 12,000 miles. So once a year. So I'm a little bit overdue on that as well. About 8,000 miles past due, I believe. But yes, so that's something that I'll need to budget for, because I'm just going to go ahead and jump ahead. My 2026 spending plan right here. I did not at all budget for, you see my car maintenance? It says car maintenance. I did not budget for car maintenance at all. Here I have oil change, oil change, oil change. Oh, you can't see that. Let me see. Oil change. And then I have car registration. I did not actually budget for fixing up my car. I have $150 budgeted, and to do my oil, it's $109. Plus, like I said, I usually have a coupon with me. So I usually expect to fix one little small thing. But the radiator cleaning is $130. The tire rotation is $50. My engine air filter is $40. The fuel treatment is $20. And then just other things that they have listed here, but I didn't sign because Valvoline doesn't do it specifically, but something to do with getting my transmission serviced. They said that should be done every 60,000 miles, and I have 72,000 miles. That looks like it's $240, but they don't do it either at that location or at Valvoline at all, but it's listed here, so maybe someone does it. So I've been looking at my budget, and the only thing I could think of where to like squeeze that in without making drastic changes is in April. I budgeted $750 to pay taxes, and it turns out that I won't owe that much. I'm still waiting on my 1098E forms, but so far I only owe about $570. I haven't started my state. I should get a refund for my state, but who knows. So let's say for car maintenance, I will do only some of the things they had listed, which is the tire rotation and my radiator cleaned. Was that $180? So $750. Let's do $750 minus $180. Let's see what that totals. $570. Wow, that's exactly what I am currently getting back from federal. Or sorry, what I'm currently owing for federal. And I haven't even finished my taxes yet. Well, I usually have a coupon when I go to Valvoline. In fact, I only go to Valvoline when I have a coupon. So let's budget $150 and $600. Okay. And now I just need to know going forward that I need to start budgeting for some car maintenance, because I'll need things like new wipers, but that's like why I budgeted $150. I was like, oh, then I'll get wipers. So if I break my wipers in August, then I'm not getting new wipers until December. But I also live in California, where it only rains from December to January. So, yep. So just things I need to start budgeting for. But I also need to start saving, and something that I've mentioned before is I don't yet know how to save money to then later spend it. It doesn't make sense to me saving money to spend money. Like, how would I do that? So this month I think I'm going to save to figure out how to spend. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so then for groceries, I went to the groceries. Where I was having food out, it was near Walmart. And so I just went to Walmart. And I'm glad I did, because they were having a rollover deal on mangoes. So mangoes at Costco is 6 for $10 roughly. But at Walmart, they were 50 cents each. So I got 8. And then I also got some protein powder and some eggs. And maybe something else. But I think that's it. Then, for my health, I had $79.99 taken out. And then I also bought a fan for my doctor's appointment next week on the 28th. But the fan requires size D batteries, and I don't have that. I don't want to buy that. So I'm going to return it and try and find another fan. Yeah. So that was everything that I spent week 4 of January. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust my budget now according to these updates. So I'm going to parking and work. I'm going to change that to 30. Household. Should I keep that at 25 just to see? I can type. Fun. I'll be getting paid before Friday, so even if I were to go out, it's not gonna be. I can wait 4 days. Gifts. Okay, I'll change that to 15. Let's see here. Applied to debt. I still need to roll over, but that's like whatever I have left in my account. Savings. I did open up a SoFi account. I just need to change my deposit information at work to that SoFi account, and I haven't done that yet. Okay. Car maintenance is now $205. Health. I'm not going to change that simply because I still have to pay my copay. If I pay on the 28th, then it's out of January's budget. If I pay on the 29th, it's out of February's budget. So we'll just see there. And as you can see, I'm now over $9.60 for my budget. So that means I cannot afford to get a house cleaner this month. And so I'm going to save money to get a house cleaner next month then. Which will probably be next week. But okay, so if I put to savings, this is what I don't understand. Okay, so I'm gonna put money aside, like a sinking fund, into my savings category, or do I put it into my household category? Because it's for a household expense. And let's see, this is $140. It costs $140, so I'll save $70. So I was gonna put it right here just for all intents and purposes right now, so I can say this is gonna be $95, which means I'll have $60 left over, and I'll put that extra $60 to debt. Okay, so let me say 70, and then let me put 95 here. And then I'll put the extra, I'll have to put the extra $60 here. Right? And then, let's see, so then I would put $256.89 here. I'm gonna wait to pay it off after I finally do these things. So let me put $50 here. Make that red, because I haven't spent it yet. I'm gonna get a refund for this. So that's gonna equals negative 1032 plus the 90 cents that I spent on taxes. Okay, then plus my copay of $15, right? Okay. Then I would put $203.99 $1.11 here. Okay, so then how many more days do I have left of January? I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 more days left of January, and this is how I'm hoping to plan to spend and budget for all of my expenses in week 5 of January. 70 of these dollars, so let me just go ahead and break that up so when I look at it, I know. Oh, this will be a plus. 70 of these dollars is going to go to household savings. And I just have to know that at the end of the month, I should still have $70 in my checking account, right? Or do I just go ahead and already set aside $70 in my savings account now? But then, next month in February, do I say, and let's say next month in February, when I say that it's $140, then I'll just only say that I spent $70. And then I won't even mention the $70 that I spent? Is that how I do it? I'm not sure. As you can see, I'm struggling. But, okay. Anyways, sorry to ramble and think out loud there at the end, but that is my breakdown of my week 4 January spending and my predicted week 5 January spending. Thank you for following along. If you stayed to the end of the video, I'd love to have you join this financial journey with me. So hit subscribe, click the like, and leave a comment down below if you would like. My next video will be out in a couple of days, so please stick around for that. And then if you have any advice for me when it comes to savings, then just let me know down below as well. But other than that, thank you, and until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.